Hooptie Cross was born from the Gambler 500. I was one of the original 14 in Gambler 500. We wanted to do an open race series that was accessible, that was cheap, closed course, time trial racing. We race about 20 races across the country. We have a lot of fun. This is our first ever World Championship here at Rally Ready Driving School for all of our top drivers in our 4 classes, so we're really excited to be here.
My name's MILLERSHASKI. I'm from Southwest Kansas, about 10 hours from here, so a little bit of drive, but not as bad as some of the other people. Kind of got started in Hooptie Cross. I did the tough truck competitions back when I was younger, and it was fun. I loved it, but you trashed your vehicle in 1 or 2 races. And so these, you know, the goal isn't to ruin your car, it's to get out and have fun. I do break some stuff now and then, but I think fixing it's half the fun. I've been racing this car for about 2 years now, and I made some changes to it, but it's still running good. You know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to do the like the Baja 1000, you know, race the trophy trucks, but I don't have an extra couple $100,000 sitting around to buy a trophy truck and do that. But with this, I can get a cheap, you know, Crown Vic, Honda Civic, whatever, and just go out there and have some fun and be a race car driver. So it's a 2010 Crown Vic. It does have a Mustang motor in it. It had a blown motor. It got swapped out with just another 4.6 liter. It does have a Marty tune. Crown Vic guys will know what I'm talking about. I swapped out the rear end gear to 410 ratio, locked up the differential, and I lifted it about 4 inches using a combination of Explorer struts, some spring spacers. The rear end's got Expedition coils and F-150 shocks. I slapped some UTV side-by-side tires on it, and that's about it.
This is a 2007 ST Sun Trike. It's made in Uruguay, so I don't know why one's in America, but I happened to find one for sale, and why wouldn't you buy it? It's 150 cc's of pure fun. Maybe. It's bent a little bit. This 2003 Crown Vic LS, and that just wasn't enough, so it's got a turbo now. Running about 10.5 PSI. Nothing too crazy. 700, maybe a little bit more horsepower. So I lifted it, and then I of course needed more power, so I put an LS in it. And then after doing Hooptie Cross for 3 races, I felt like the power was my issue. It had nothing to do with my driving skill. That's the only reason I wasn't winning. So I put a turbo on it, and lo and behold, I've somehow gotten slower now because I can't control it, but it shoots really good rooster tails and gets big air, and that's all that truly matters. This is its 10th or 11th event. It gets airborne at every event but this one. I usually end by breaking the front end off the car in some way. The last time I broke the aluminum subframe in half and dropped the motor out of the bottom of it. It survived pretty well for what it is, and I have fun with it. It's got a 5-inch donk suspension lift that run 32-inch rims that I've modified and made a little bit beefier so it holds up better. That and a 3-inch body lift, and it runs. As long as you keep it under 4 foot of air, it usually keeps together pretty decently. When you start breaking 4 foot of air is when it breaks. LS Fest, I got about 7, someone told me. That's when I broke the aluminum frame in half, was when it's 7 foot off the ground. But I was doing the trophy truck jump in it, and they're built for that. This isn't. This is my 5th or 6th race that he's been at that I've been at, and we're usually within a second or 2 of each other. If it's got straightaways, I beat him. If it's got a lot of turns, he beats me, because I just can't keep it pointed in the right direction. It's too squirrely with all the power.
Hooptie Cross is pretty much the world's cheapest off-road rally racing organization on the planet. A racing league for the everyday man. We've kind of stripped away a lot of the crazy regulations and stuff you must do that add up to a bunch of money, as you may know, and made it to where the everyday man can come out here and race for a weekend and not spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. So we've really just made racing more accessible to people.
Gosh, that was intense. Do not underestimate the RAV4.
114.
114? I thought it said 111.
No, well, maybe. I thought it said 114.
I think it said I'm pretty sure it said 111. What does Hello Kitty mean to you?
Like my alter ego where I get to be fun and it's hard to be sad when everything's silly. So I don't like Hello Kitty, I don't like Hot Pink. So if I lose something, I don't care because I didn't like it. And everybody knows that it's mine. Like it's just easy, it's easy to find. It works.
It works.
So yeah, Hooptie Cross is my opportunity to get to race. I love it. Been to as many as possible. This is awesome.
How far did you drive?
2,400 miles in 3 days. Sold a few things and got a sponsor, and here I am.
Thank you for traveling this far. You are a true competitor heart.
I'm Alan Willis. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. This is Misbehavin'. It's a 2013 Local Motors Rally Fighter. World's first crowdsourced design car is its real claim to fame. Couldn't afford one, of course, when they were new. So I'm actually the third owner of this car. I waited for the depreciation to hit. I actually found this one on eBay. And it's 50 state street legal. So like I drive it a couple times a week at least, usually, running errands or whatever. But to be able to come out and actually beat on it some and get some more wheel time handling it in conditions like this, that's what I find entertaining. It's got about 20 inches of wheel travel. So it's got King reservoir shocks, front and rear. It's kind of a modulation of other parts. Cars too, like the brakes came off the trucks, radiator stuff's from a Dodge Charger or Challenger. The body and the glass, the chassis, the suspension design is all Local Motors manufactured components, but where they could take a readily available part from something else, they did. So I can go to AutoZone or O'Reilly's and get replacement parts if I need to. You gotta want to drive a rally fighter to buy a rally fighter. It's every bit a race car. There's no sound deadening, there's no fender liners. It's loud, it rattles, it squeaks. Literally, it's a tank. Very little I've ever broken on this car running it off-road. My only issue this weekend is my driver's side door handle stopped working for a while because it got a bunch of dirt in it.
Our race series does run off of a point system. So the way to come out, you earn points from, obviously it's still a race, so you get points for first, second, and third place. The rest of the top 10 earns points. But we also do points for fun, sort of interesting things like best DNF. We do give points for volunteers as well. From June to June every year is basically our circuit. So it starts with OG or big event in Oregon and runs to the following year. And whoever accumulates enough points in your class, you earn a trip to our championship race. And then the most points at the end of the weekend is essentially your overall winner in class. Two-wheel drive, competitive class. We're gonna start with third place with a total of 45.5 points. Mr. Ken Brady in the 97 Corolla. Yeah, good job, Ken.
There's a certain amount of, we really just don't care about that car much. It was a friend of mine's car. I guess this is the third Hooptie Cross event it's been run in. It was partially wrecked and wrecked, fixed, and drove it down here because I figured it would make it because it's a Toyota. And then we just added things to it as we needed to.
Yeah, and remove things as needed.
Yeah, took some weight off it. I think it's a lot more fun when it's just a cheap, average, normal car. I had pool noodles on my previous car when I was there because I made it look like a cat and put a tail and ears and that sort of thing. And it was really popular. Get down here with the Corolla, and where we're staying across the street, someone had thrown away a bunch of pool noodles. So I'm like, they have to get the car. So we just made it silly, made it fun, and had a good time.
Bag of Texas potatoes.
That's better than
Because potatoes aren't very fast, right? And then our micro start from Anti-Gravity. And a little bit of NOS to hopefully make you go a bit faster.
I fucking love this community, and everyone has been amazing to me. Everyone's been amazing to me, and looking forward to doing a lot more of this.
This is my 1986 MR2. It is beyond spicy and the funnest thing you could drive. You don't even know that you're driving it, you're just whipping it around, and it's so much fun. It's relatively stock, rebuilt an engine in it, that's about it. Got some snow tires on it. I have to shuffle the intake onto the roof somehow because the intake's in the back, so it just wants to collect dirt, and I already blew up one engine like that. Trying to not blow up two. It had some janky exhaust on it. I'm trying to get as much power out of it that I can out of these little engines. So right off the back of the engine, I just did a big old massive pipe straight out the back. Get rid of the mufflers, don't need none of that. Sounds better without it anyway. Cheap, easy, fun. You just grab a car and you just race. As long as you know we're generally safe, which is all right. We got helmets and whatnot. It's just amazing. I'm smiling the whole time through the track. Just being able to whip a car sideways, and I can't describe it. It's just that amazing.
You get a nice solid pair of heat waves, sir? Power station, PS80 from Anti-Gravity.
Literally is the best thing in the world. It's an experience that you can only get doing it, and it's like I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't.
0.2 seconds
Holy
determines
hotness.
second and first.
Yesterday I lost
Knife the tires.
by 0.2 of a second.
Right.
So we did some work on it last night, cutting the tires, cutting the fenders, removing all the extra seats to make it a little bit faster, and it was just enough to take first place. So.
But now I have to drive it back to Oregon. So
Yes, we might have to put some things back in.
we might have to do that.
At least the exhaust.
Right. Yeah. Put the exhaust back in.
You are now a professional weightlifter.
All right. Huge thanks to Ken. I got to drive his car and beat him in it. And thanks to Chuck for running an amazing series and helping us all have so much fun.
Absolutely. It's all about you guys.
This sparkly yellow 1970 Ford Bronco has been in my family since 1978. It's come in phases. It's taken me about 30 years to get it to this point. Started with a general concept. I knew what I wanted and I knew how to get there, and I got there eventually, but this is exactly what 12-year-old me wanted. It took me about 30 years. Why do I choose to hoopty cross it? Well, for one, it's to make all the purists and Bronco lovers just absolutely sick. And the other reason is I don't have a Hooptie X rally car. I have to use this. Engaging the wing. We'll do a second gear launch this time. Hope we're not on fire. Yes! Get some!
It's a 78 Subaru DL wagon. Pretty much the whole car is stock. The only thing that we've changed is we put a Weber carburetor on the inside. We gutted the interior. We put a roll bar in and some racing seats. The car's been rolled 3 times, twice physically and once on the odometer. The thing about being out on the racetrack is that this is a race against time, and when it's a race against time, it's a race against yourself. You have to become a better driver in order to really make this thing work for yourself. You can hit trees, you can knock over cones. You want to stay on the course and get your speed going. That's what does it for me. Jesus. This is the first time.
You're a repeat offender. Well, good news is we can pull your glass out. You can still run.
It's plexiglass, yeah.
Oh. What happened was he was coming around that turnout there, okay? And they went to make it, and then you just ran out of talent.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yep, we're good.
Driving like I stole it. Here's a group of guys that are out doing rally car driving together. We all have got some kind of a beater. We've all got some kind of a car story. You could ask us about our car, and we're going to talk to you for 15 minutes about the car. That's why I'm here.
Jonathan, fantastic racer. Every time I see you, sir, you've got an ear-to-ear smile. It doesn't matter if you're upside down like today, or if you actually complete a lap on your tires. You're always smiling, always having a good time. You're a huge supporter. Thank you. I'm glad you're all right, and thank you for continuing to come out here and send it hard, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi, I'm Lauren. This is my beautiful shitbox edition Grand Cherokee. Everything is stock in it with 258,000 original miles. Still runs like a dream. He started racing, and I went to one race, and then it was all downhill from there. My dad gave me my dad gave me my racing Jeep, and I just sent it, and now I'm here. It's a lot of fun. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it is, but it was just a lot of fun taking the vehicle off-road, and I just try to beat my own times. I don't really try to beat other people's times. Oh yeah, it still has heated seats that work, and the AC works as well.
And some NOS to help you go faster.
I was shocked when I found out I qualified for this because I just come out to have fun and I love meeting all of you guys. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Making me enjoy it.
Race in our bedroom. Race in the bedroom. Yeah, you can see we still got the foam and the sleeping bags in the back. Oh yeah, we drove the race car out here drag week style, towed a trailer with all our junk. World famous snot otter. I grew up doing 4x4 sand drag and short course obstacle, basically like this. Every weekend my parents dragged me around and raced for trophies and camped out on Friday and Saturday night and stood around the bonfire and told lies, and so I kind of grew up off-road racing. Found out about Hooptie Cross when we went out to a 2020 OG in the $500 school bus with the Nissan Xterra stuffed in the back of it. Went to the first Hooptie Cross. I was like, oh, I want to do this. But yeah, this thing, the first time I ran it, we won class.
Nice work. Nice racing. Thank you.
What we have here is my 1993 Subaru Impreza wagon, 1.8 liter automatic car, which is generally considered one of the slower ones, but I like it and it works for me. Overall, I have made everything on this car by hand. I did a roll cage, I did a tube front end, full exhaust system, custom header. All of it has been made by me in my shop. Kind of trying to stick with the theme of the under $500 car. I grew up racing. My dad raced motorcycles before I was born, and so I've always been around racing cars, midget cars, stuff like that. Off-road racing and budget building stuff has always been fun to me, so that's where this car kind of grew from. It started out as a car that I was paid to remove from the previous owner's property. I don't know, I kind of fell in love with the car itself. It's kind of funny to say. It's got hundreds of hours of my time into putting it together. At this point, it's more about the having fun with friends and getting to go do what I love.
Good job, man. Congratulations, $500 the belt and some free tires, brother.
Hi, I'm Louis DiCamillo. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I have this beautiful beast of a stinking Lincoln. I have a lot of fun with it. I like taking this thing for dual purposes. I like Hooptie Cross and Gambler 500 with it. So I've been trying to keep it as versatile for both of those applications. I drove it here 1,050 miles one way, and I did probably 20 laps. Nothing held back. Hopefully I'm going to make it 1,050 miles back home. The amount of fun you get on the track and the amount of fun you have with everybody else that's doing this, it's just a lot of camaraderie, and we help each other out. If somebody's got a tool that someone else needs, we scrounge together to make things work, and we're all eager to help each other. And that kind of camaraderie is pretty hard to find anywhere else. I'm sure I'm not going to win with this 3,800-pound pig, but man, is it fun hooning it and having fun with all these other people that are actually better than me or do have smaller, faster cars than me. It's still worth it, absolutely.
I've done the Mint 400 5 times. Won it once last year with my brother in the vintage class, and that was super special. We were super proud of that. I do a lot of racing, and this just beats it all, man. There's no stress. You come out here and just have fun and haul ass and drive all day, and it costs you very little money. So it's the fun factor versus the dollar. It's just it can't be beat. It's the best deal going in motorsports, and it's also fun. It takes you back to the old days where a guy driving a Volkswagen is battling it out with a guy in a Crown Vic. That's really unique in itself in motorsports. You're usually assigned into a rigid class and everything. And so, yeah, it's really neat to see how your car compares to all these other cars and all these builds and everything. And all these people from all over the place. It's just an awesome, awesome event.
Guess you should have put the gas in.
I know.
Brandon Clark. I'm from San Jose, California. 2001 Toyota Tacoma pre-runner, step side, two-wheel drive. 437,000 miles. It's original drivetrain, original motor, everything. Stock differential fluid from the factory. It's been beat to hell. It's a retired service truck. I went from working the streets of roadside service down to the Hooptie events, and it's indestructible for the most part. I got it with just over 100,000 miles. Now it's got 437. No major issues or anything, just been a solid truck the whole time. The number one thing that turned me on the Hooptie Cross was the low budget aspect of it, because you could take any vehicle you have and just go have fun. But to travel as much as I do, like I went to Florida Gator Rally back in April, it's the people. You know, you have a lot of fun, you meet people, make memories, you got lifelong friends after these events. This was OC a couple months ago. They have like this section called the tree tunnel. So you come around a corner and there's trees like lining both sides. And I came around the corner and I was started by a cameraman and I was like, oh crap, and then swerved and then hit the tree head on and then dented the hood. It broke the grill and then it busted out the AC condenser. So this has all been self-tapped screws on together until I can get in there and replace the core support. But it's Hooptie ready, that's all that matters.
Trent Kendall from Phoenix, Arizona. This is a 98 vet cart. I wanted to build something that was cheap and that delivered maximum smiles per mile, so I can drag race this, autocross, road race, gambler, Hooptie race. Also, it entertains my son endlessly. He likes anything that provides G-forces, so I put the kid seat in the side and he sits in the passenger seat. So I got this from Kansas. It was hit in the front, but it didn't even cave in the frame at all. So we ripped off all the body panels and then added the cage. Dirt racing is special because it's all 3 dimensions, whereas drag racing and autocross and road racing is only 2 directions. With the dirt, you can catch air, which we did at the first race and ended up ripping the radiator out of it. So now we've raised the radiator 4 inches and that hasn't been a problem this weekend, thankfully. So I've always liked off-road racing. The tracks are fun and the people are really awesome. Everyone supports each other and the entry fee is extremely affordable. So it's a blast. Everyone's out here to support each other and make it happen. But this has been a super competitive class all year long, starting with 3rd place with 70 points. And this is a sweet build. This is one of my favorite rigs this weekend. The vet cart, 98 vet cart. Trent Kendall. Oh, the drive out here is more dangerous than the racing.
I'm Taylor, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm driving this MR2 Spider ZZW30 with the 1ZZ, the same engine as factory in it. I actually bought this as a daily driver back in 2018. I thought it was a great platform to start racing in, and I love it. My favorite modification to this car is actually the shifter. A guy in Spain by the name of Ricardo makes them. It felt great out there. I love Hooptie Cross because it's more laid back. No one's nitpicking over little here and there rules. You get more than 4 or 6 chances in the day. And I just love those laid back formats. I had tons of fun. I was glad to come out here. I'm looking forward to do more Hooptie Cross.
Congratulations, man. Way to race.
I just want to give a shout out to anti-gravity batteries. I actually run an anti-gravity battery. I shed 27 pounds out of the battery alone.
With 82 points, the bearded, the attractive, the tight-panted Mr. Alex Shadney.
It was one hell of a drive to get out here, fighting with winter driving conditions, hitting a deer from Utah to Colorado, and then losing our radiator, serpentine belt, and then getting a flat tire not 4 miles from the ranch.
That's right.
Like Chuck said earlier, I've been a part of this since day one, and I love this thing. It's so incredible, the amount of seat time and the amount of fun we have, and just the sense of community. Like, this is just one big family. I love it.
Zach Vincent. I am from Long Island, Kansas. About a 13-hour drive down here to Dale, Texas. So this is my 2016 Razor 1000. Originally just kind of bought it as, a way to have fun, but with on 4 wheels instead of 2. I've had motorcycles my entire life, but you get older, I like a little bit less risk, but I guess less risk comes with a little vagueness as I drive this around.
COVID hit and we got bored, and we started out doing a gambler and then found out about the Hooptie and went, that sounds like fun. And I've always been a little bit of a lead foot, so seemed like a good fit. And then this car keeps running and running and running, so
I heard there was maybe a tree.
There's a small problem. There's a small dent in the back. I kissed the tree just a little bit.
And everybody knows about it.
Yeah, I tried to beat my time, and I was really actually happy with my time. I thought maybe I can go faster. No. Went a little too fast. Couldn't quite make the corner. Car's still running.
Always a competitive class. You guys are fun to watch. Third place, Mr. John Wood with 45.5 points in the Yamaha. Texas Potatoes.
Thank you. Thank you guys for all showing up. I'm impressed you guys all made the journey. I didn't think anybody would come all the way down Texas.
Second place with 81 points, super competitive. And the Honda Talon, Roger Balbino.
Just want to say thank you for everyone. You know, everybody was safe, and thank God, and that's it.
Fantastic. Congratulations. We're John Hall.
My name's John Hall. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. This is my 1998 Jeep Cherokee. Basically stock driveline, modified for what in our town is called tough truck. It's basically a fair circuit with jumps and prize money. It's light as I can get it. See, there's not a whole lot of interior or other special gadgets. This one does have a supercharger on it, which is about the only real modification other than rear shocks and a welded rear diff. Hooptie Cross I do really like because it's multiple runs, so you get a lot of driving time in comparison. The tough truck is much more rough, much more destructive, but it's usually one run, 30 to 50 seconds, and then you're going home. That's where it gets the oomph out of the corners. They don't believe me, but it really only makes like 100 or 201 horsepower. It's not super powerful, but it does make a good amount of torque because it's an inline. That is broken. And I don't know what that one is.
A lot of race, break, fix, and repeat for this guy this weekend. Blown tire, how many tires?
Basically 3 straight.
3 straight blown tires. Well, congratulations, John. A huge thank you to Rally Ready Driving School and Texas Dave, Rob Winter, General Tire, Conversion Brewing, Heatwave Visual, Rugged Radios, Anti-Gravity Batteries, as well as Epic Engineering and Organ Design Code. They've all been huge supporters of us to make this first inaugural championship happen.
If you're wondering how the Miata did, well, we drove 18 hours down to Austin, did 1 lap around the course, then noticed a little smoke and the turbo oil feed line had arced off the starter and almost burned the car down. The line was ruined, can't get another one, day is done.